Hello, Chris. How you doing? I was looking back at some of your sketches, and I'm looking at this. Okay, and I'm seeing, and I'm not. I'm not exactly positive what I'm looking at here because of the way these are arranged. The good thing here is though is that I can see how your spreads are intended. Okay, so keep that in mind, and I'm gonna jump over to the PDF, and I want to show you what I'm seeing here. Now, when the PDF was submitted, it was submitted as where is that page? It's a single page view. So this is how I got it. This is how I got your PDF. Let me back down a little bit. Okay, that's how I got your PDF. So I simply went to view and I hit page display and I said two-page view. And as you can see, the way that you have this formatted is it's not working with your spreads. We can see that because your title page is always on the left. So, and here it's on the right, and these just aren't your spreads. So, where did we go wrong? Well, the idea is this, and I'm just going to jump back over to the class, and I'm knowing you, I know you already saw this, but I'm going to show you anyways. And then we got this guy right over here, this announcement that I put, and it's how to set up your booklet for printing. And you can see how, if you want to print your booklet, which I highly recommend, you can see how traditionally you would do it with a blank page, the front cover, the inside cover, blank page, which is either blank or an introduction, and then starting your spreads on page 4 and 5. We have page count, and I also showed you how to set this up in InDesign. I want to draw your attention to this illustration right here with the pages in InDesign. Now, your cover goes on the front page. Your back cover goes on the back page, and these are your spreads. So what this would be is, based on this description up here, you would have your front cover, and okay, that would be your inside of the front cover, the back side of that, okay? That would your blank page. You would turn that page, and there's where you would start your spread on page 4 and 5, okay? So that's how you would set it up in InDesign. Right now, you've got, the way it's viewed is that you've got your cover on the left-hand side of the spread. Going into page 1, the first side of the left side of the first spread is on the right side of the first spread in InDesign, meaning that that second page of that spread will be on the left side of your second series of spreads. So, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. So what I can do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to the other page where the layouts are correct, and I'm going to talk about layout. Okay, then I'm going to come back here and talk about typography. Let's go back there and let's talk about layout. Let me see how I can get back there quickly since I jumped off that page. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, where the heck? Oh, here we are. All right, so here's what we got. Here's your cover, and I'm not, okay, let's talk about this. Nice typographic composition. Very, very nice, very nice. By Chris Rea, the byline typically is not, right now you're giving this title a little bit of competition, not by scale, but by color. So you're competing, the byline is competing with the title, which you probably don't want in a book or a booklet. So I think to alleviate that immediate competition, I would say your answer lies in scale. This is different. Or no, it's not. Is that the same composition as that? Sorry about that. Okay, so your first spread, all right? This is just huge. This type is just huge. And I want to talk about your page size too. Page size, you're at 7 by 8. You're almost a square format. This is going to be a difficult page to work on. Typically, you want to try to design a page, and that's why I was saying shooting for that A6 page size. I'm just going to draw a little thing here, all right? I'm going to try to draw the shape of the golden section. Would be something like that, and that would be considered to be the most interesting shape to the human eye based on comfortable visual proportions. Okay, again, that's called golden section. And you can see that in the Ellen Lupton chapter on grids. But basically, it looks something like that. It's not an 8.5. It's actually 6 to 6.618 is the ratio. So if you can get that ratio on your page size, you're going to be really good for a booklet. Right now, you're not near it. You're kind of a strange page. You're pushing a square format, which is extremely difficult to design. Headline, I'm sorry, type-wise, I think that you've got this 2-column grid, but let's go through the grid. Okay, yeah, the one thing I'm noticing in almost every page is the width of your type columns. Look how narrow that is, or actually look how narrow that is and compare it to that. Looks like it's a much wider, definitely this is. Look look at the width of that. That ends right there, and then look how much wider that is. Okay, and I saw the same thing over here in a couple of areas. Just notice something. That text right there is different size than that text. These are different. That's different than that. It's smaller. So get your consistency going here. Yeah, mostly grid stuff here, mostly alignment and grid. And I think that one of the things that's hurting your pages is your random placement of images. Again, the images are not following any kind of grid structure whatsoever. This page is very much in competition with itself for a couple of reasons. This huge color block up here is drawing all the attention. It's got your pages that have that are really, that's tough. That's so visually heavy and so visually demanding that I don't think it's a good solution. Why the block? Why not just use the word typography? Why not introduce it like that? Okay, so yes. Okay, random placement of images, breaking the grid everywhere with the placement of your images. Everywhere, every one of them has broken the grid, except those. Well, technically those might be, but without question, that one isn't. These are. But do you see what I'm saying? Every one of these are breaking the grid. So you're compromising alignment everywhere. Okay, here, 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 here. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why when you look at this page, imagine you watching someone's eyes when they look at your page. Their eyes are gonna be going back and forth, over here, then over here, then over here, then over here, then up here, then over here. And their eye is just, on each of your pages, the eye is just ping-ponging back and forth because you haven't trained it to stay within a specific position. How do you do that? Very, very strict adherence to the grid. Okay, so in this page, for instance, with really good alignment, meaning the headline is aligned with the body copy, okay, and the eye would naturally go from the headline to the beginning, read through. Now, if these were within the grid, the eye would stop and comfortably reside where if that window was in that grid area right there, then move on comfortably, mind you. Okay, so then we would move on to the next page and comfortably read, then see how these are within that 2-column grid. So we have a comfortable way of going over there, checking that out, coming back, finish reading, checking that out, and then carrying on. Okay, now take that idea on this page here. It's just not going to happen. There's just too much going on. Boing, 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 boing. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. All right, back up here. Let's see what we got. I'm a windbag today, man. I'm way over. Or a widow, orphan. Let's see. Watch your rags. No reason to break the grid on a pull quote. Why? Look at what you've done to the right margin, decimating the right margin. Pretty good typeset there. Little bit tight in your, no, that's good. That's good typeset there. Widow. Technically, that's a widow. Okay, good alignment, good rags. Some of your rags are a little long. Good indents. Good job there with the indents. Okay, so Yeah, technically that's a widow too. I like and nothing less than 3 words for me, anyways. That's the way I look at it. I think 2 words equals a widow. I'm sorry if it doesn't come at least approach halfway to the type column. To me, I'm like that looks odd. Technically, it's 1 word. I'm saying it's up to 2. Okay. Look at this. Whoop. Look at that pattern right there with your regs. No good. Can't do it. Can't do it. It's too disruptive. Okay, so that's where I'm at. All right. If you have any questions or comments, you're doing fine. I think everything's coming along very, very well. Your typography is really coming along nicely. I mean, I'm really giving you some fine details here. So, I mean, technically, you're looking pretty darn good, especially for an early typography class. This is probably your first class in type, and you're doing phenomenal. Everyone is, but okay. So that's what I have, and I'm sorry I took so long. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to get with me. Thanks, Chris.